Larry here with
Larry Vela.
and we're both from BoLS, and we're here with a little book called the Death Guard Codex.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Why are you so excited about the Death Guard
have
Codex?
been because they're right over there.
They're
You
over
can't
there.
see it.
You can't see them.
You can't see it. I have been collecting Death Guard. All you people on BoLS, you know. All you people who are new, you can just type Death Guard. I have been working on a Death Guard army for like 12 years.
12
Long
years at this
time.
point? Long time.
Long time.
I mean, that's how we kind of met, actually, was
Yeah.
the pre-heresy stuff.
Yep. They're like, some of them are there's like 150 of them are pre-heresy,
Yep.
and 150 of them are normal, and you can mix and match and whatever, and it's the army's huge and crazy.
But yeah, this has been like your...
I have been waiting for this book.
Yeah. This is your book.
This is my book.
This is your book.
So it's like it's real.
It's
I can
finally
touch it.
here.
It's actually here. I'm so excited.
You're excited.
I am.
I'm sure the fans are excited too. Let's, I want to go over some quick, hard facts about this book real fast.
Okay.
First off, 104-page hardback,
Yep.
full color hardback. It's got 6 relics in it, 6 warlord traits, 6 psychic powers.
Okay.
There are 14 Nurgle strategies in here.
Yep.
One of which is Chaos Boon, which is from the Chaos Codex too. So, but 14 divided by 2 is what, Larry?
7.
What's the magic number of Nurgle?
7.
Shocked to tell you. There's a ton of new Nurgle units in here.
A lot.
And then pretty much all of the Nurgle stuff ever is in here.
Yeah, this is a codex. This is very much not a codex that's like the Grey Knight one was, or or the Chaos Space Marine one. Many new units. This is an army that is effectively totally new to the game. Yes, it is technically Chaos Space Marines.
Right.
There are strong similarities, but it is a very divergent book. It's not it is not just Codex Chaos Space Marines with a couple new units.
No. It's not Chaos Space Marines with Nurgle marks.
Correct.
It is. There are new things in here.
Yeah, it is different.
So we are going to go through a lot of pictures in this book. We're going to show off some stuff. We're not going to show off everything. Go pick up the book for yourself for that. But we are going to flip through some things.
Yeah.
So let's dive in.
Dun dun dun.
Got the opening page here.
All right.
And then boom, there's the awesome Nurgle.
I know. There it is.
Death Guard.
It's all nerdly. Look at it. Skulls and
cool.
big glowy red eyes and stuff's all dripping.
How many skulls? How many heads are on that?
3.
Bingo.
7.
8.
3 or 7.
12.
Always guess.
It's 3 or 7.
3 or 7.
Here's a quick table of contents. Let me just read this real fast.
Okay.
We've got the intro, which is going to talk about the collecting Death Guard, kind of the cool stuff about that. We've got all of the Death Guard lore, the history of the Death Guard,
and a lot of it is new. There's a lot of new stuff in here, and
tons of new stuff,
and a lot more detail than on the Death Guard
the pre-heresy stuff.
Legion. And a lot more detail even than we got in some of the Horse Heresy books from 4th.
Right.
There's a lot of
good tidbits.
Yeah, there's some serious meat in this book.
Yeah, so that's really cool. Then we've got again, that's the 14th Legion Death Guard. That's the pre-heresy stuff, and then the Lords of the Plague Planet, which is going to go over all of the different units, kind of in detail, where they show like the unit, the name of the unit, a brief history of the unit,
artwork,
all that fun stuff, and then of course we're going to get into the rules and stuff too.
At the very end. Yep.
Let's go ahead and flip through real quick.
Alrighty, lots of new art all over this book.
Is packed full. We got a little bit of a glare there. This book is packed full of awesome artwork.
Yep. So now you will have a suitable artwork for the Death Guard kicking everybody's ass that you've never had before.
It's true.
Death Guard kicking Talbot.
All day long. Here's more goodies about the Death Guard.
Yep.
It does actually talk about the Dusk Raiders. Who are the Dusk Raiders?
The Dusk Raiders are the original Legion before they were linked up with Mortarion.
Right. So it's like again,
who renamed them the Death Guard. So the original Terran Legion, it's in there. You get cool stuff like this. This is a whole thing about like this is their original chapter logo, and then how it's gotten corrupted and different variations of it.
Which is really cool that
in the modern era.
This is the first book in a long time, Codex book that I can think of. Even the Thousand Suns book didn't go into as much detail, I think, in the pre-heresy stuff.
We'll get as we flip through more.
Look at that. That's the original.
That's the original pre-heresy.
Not the Dusk Raider
Legionnaires.
Yeah, this is the Death Guard Legionnaires.
Looking good.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Tough.
Keep going. Tough.
Keep on going.
Yeah.
Liking it.
Through again more.
You
awesome
get stuff
artwork.
on the Plague Planet, so we actually get a whole spread on the Plague Planet. So where
what is the Plague Planet?
That is the Death Guard Legion's current home in the Eye of Terror. That is where they moved, and it talks about. You get a lot of information about it, what it looks like, how it works. What it
why you don't want to drink the water there.
Why you
all
should
that
not
stuff.
drink the water. Don't drink the water.
All that
Very
cool
bad.
stuff. It does also talk about the Plague Fleet as well.
Okay, so this is one of the coolest pages. So what we're going to talk about here is the reason that the Death Guard are such a different thing is as we find out on this entire chart here. This is one of those like how the Legion is organized
who reports
chart.
To who, that type of
Except it's really interesting because they go through great pains to note, and this is pretty new. This has only been hinted at before that the reason that there's a Death Guard Codex now that you should want to play and why it's so different is that alone of all of the Traitor Legions, the Death Guard in the 41st millennia, so in the current era of Warhammer 40,000, is effectively completely intact.
Oh, wow.
And they're the only Legion that survived completely intact. So when the Horus Heresy ended, right, all the legions broke up into warbands and whatever. The Death Guard didn't. They maintained, as a legion, fell back in good order to the Eye, took the planet, and to this day are they're the same military organization that they were.
So for 10,000 years, they have been still a legion essentially.
And let's take a look at how big these guys are. So obviously, you're going to have Mortarion. He's up at the top, right? He runs the thing, and he has his thing. The Death Guard Legion is broken up into seven companies.
Yeah.
These aren't 100 Space Marines. These companies
these are Legion companies.
These are huge. So each of these 7 companies, as an example, we'll take this one. This company is broken up into 7 cohorts.
Yes.
Each of these 7 cohorts is broken up into
goes down here, over here.
Right over here is broken up into
maledictum.
Into 7 maledictums. Each maledictum is 7 colonies. And
I'm detecting a theme here.
Yes, but as an example, so we're way down the list. I need to look at this really quick so I can see which one we're talking about.
But as you can see,
here.
the force organization of the Death Guard follows the rule of 7, and then on top of that, there's just a ton of them. There's enough Chaos Marines, enough Death Guard that survived for 10,000 years in the warp to create enough units to fill out all these squads.
So a colony, which is the smallest one that we talked about, a colony is effectively a 40k army. So that's a leader, command, and 7 squads of guys and support vehicles. So this is the equivalent of a Space Marine company, which means that when you're talking about how big is the Death Guard Legion...
That's one Space Marine company.
Yeah, so when you move up from the colony to the maledictum level, this is like almost a chapter.
Yeah.
So the equivalent of a Space Marine, so like all of the Ultramarines, that's one of the 7 maledictums. That's in one of the cohorts. That's in one of the Plague companies. So this whole legion is
massive.
It's like over 50,000 Marines. Easily.
It's gotta be
easily. Yeah. It's huge.
7 to the X power.
Right.
Somebody do the math.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep moving. It's huge.
And not only that, but you get the individual names of each of the grand companies, what they're known for, how they fight, who's in command of them.
Which we're going to get to, actually.
It's totally cool.
We're going to get to that.
It's super cool.
That's why I wanted to jump over here. That's why I wanted to turn the page, because you actually get the paint schemes for a handful of these different...
Of the grand companies.
Yeah, of the grand companies.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Keep going.
Going. There's even more of them.
Even more.
So everything...
Look at that. The Rotworm Brotherhood. That's the original colors.
So the cool thing is that, so like if you're playing like in the Chaos Space Marine, it's all about war bands, right?
Yeah.
So, every war band is its own thing, and, a warlord gets 20 or 30 Marines together, and they go kick some butt, and they all have their own colors, right?
Yeah.
But, so, different, those different paint schemes that basically every army that you would face on the tabletop represents, is basically what you're doing is you're not painting the Death Guard. You're basically saying, these are the color schemes that my particular colony uses.
Right.
But that colony still is absolutely part of this greater organization, and it knows its place, and it has a commanding officer, and it goes all the way back up to Mortarion.
They're huge.
So these guys don't operate, autonomously on their own.
No. This Legion
is one giant galaxy-spanning military organization.
Which is nuts.
Which is super
Speaking
cool.
of galaxy spanning, We also show here, I love seeing the galactic maps, but this shows all of the major outbreaks.
And
shockingly enough, there's 7 of them.
These are the current locations of the 7 companies.
Yeah.
Where they
down
operate.
here, we have the outbreak in Ultramar, the onset of the crawling pustulence, which
is the 7th company, up to no good.
Up to no good. As we're talking about this too, the Fate of Connor campaign is wrapping up. I want to note that there is no fluff in here about whatever has just happened in the campaign.
No, there couldn't be.
There couldn't be because it's not written yet. So that's what's cool about this. This is new, but that is happening simultaneously with this.
Yep.
So that's really cool stuff.
You get all of your standard history. It's totally cool. You get the Death Guard kicking everybody's butt. There's some weird stuff
I want to know. This is my personal favorite one right here.
It's the Tyranny one.
It's the Dune of Hesp. Doom of Hest is a really short little, 2-paragraph note about a Tyranid invasion fleet that attacks a planet that was also being attacked by the Death Guard, and how their pestilence and the escalates. The pestilence of the Death Guard and the venom of the Tyranids escalates to a point at which a Tyranid hive fleet tries to come in and sip that slurry. Guess what happens? It tastes it and it goes, oh god! And it's like, nope, can't drink it. It's too virulent for the Tyranids to drink.
And the hive fleet leaves.
And the hive fleet just leaves. They're like, nope, don't want it. Don't want it. It's touched the ground. 3-second rule, done. It's great. It's just, and it's full of awesome side stories like that. More awesome artwork.
More awesome art.
Mortarion, and is this one Mortarion? No, yeah, Mortarion's back there, but
he is.
Yeah,
he's back there.
You got Plague.
Mortarion,
Plague
obviously, he's all over this book.
Oh yeah, he is a prominent figure for some reason.
And there he is, right there.
This is the section we were talking about earlier, where you have the unit name, their whole kind of backstory about them, some artwork about them. I think Larry's going to flip to another one to show
I'm going to flip through a couple of these to show you new guys. There's a lot of new units in this book, and there's a lot of new units that are specifically elites, heroes, individual characters.
Models.
There are I believe 4 new ones. There might be.
There's 9 total new units. I'll let you guys figure out what those are, but keep an eye out for those.
So you get all kinds of. Here's just 2 sample ones. Biologist putrefiers. These are guys who are basically grenade specialists.
Ooh.
These guys
keep a note of that.
All kinds of like elixirs, and they make special grenades, and they make everybody's grenades better. Now we all know that
grenades suck.
It's 8th edition. Grenades suck, and nobody uses them except this army.
Yeah,
we'll get back to that. So pay attention. Plague surgeons, they have their own apothecaries.
They do,
which are totally awesome. So they make their these guys. It talks about them. These were the original apothecaries from the Legion.
Again, because the Legion stayed whole.
Who are just like, wait, I can't be killed now because I'm a plague marine. So it kind of, when all your patients basically are unkillable, like what do you do when you're a doctor?
Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Does this? Oh yeah, I can't feel anything.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
On the pain scale, it's just all zeros.
Yeah. Pain scale, I'm Nurgle, I don't feel it.
Yeah, so what the apothecaries in the Death Guard do now, their main goal isn't to keep their buddies alive. Now, obviously, they do still do that. It's their main job is on the battlefield to go out and get gene seed.
Yep.
So they have to get the progenoids from
Marines they kill.
From Plague Marines, obviously, and any other Imperial Space Marines. They got to get those gene seed because that lets them make new guys.
Right, which is kind of a big deal because this Legion again stayed whole, so they're trying to replenish.
So not only do these guys. They're kind of funky. Not only do they do have rules that make disgustingly resilient better,
which is already disgusting.
Which is already great. So they are actually apothecaries. They do help their guys, but because they're actively out there trying to extract glands from loyalist Marines, they're actually pretty nasty in combat. They gain bonuses anytime they're fighting Marines.
Which they also have Death of the False Emperor,
which is great.
So I'll let you guys think about that for a second.
They're awesome.
I'll
flip to a couple more. Let's go. Right, Plague Marine.
Flipping over to some more. You want to show some more of these unit pages?
Yeah, I want to get something cool.
Oh yeah.
Let's do
Plague
right here.
Hauler.
Myphitic Blight Haulers. What the heck is a Myphitic Blight Hauler?
Ah, this is one of the new units.
This is one of the new units. This is a really interesting concept. So first of all, the Death Guard Codex. There's a lot of stuff that's not in here.
Yeah.
Because once again, they're their own military organization. There's a lot of things they don't.
You mean not in the Chaos?
Units that are in the Chaos Space Marine Codex, many of those units are not in this book.
Yes,
so
but there are some like Chaos Cultists or stuff.
Yeah, there's still some, but there's not Helldrakes. And there's not the tradition. The only demon engine that they get is the Defiler.
Well, technically,
but like they don't get Mauler Fiends and that kind of stuff. But they have new demon engines that are just for them, like this guy.
Yeah.
And what a Myphetic Blight Hauler is basically it's a tracked version of the Bloat Drone.
Yeah.
So the Bloat Drone, the little floaty thing that came in the new box set, basically cut those little rotor fans off of it and give it a set of 3 little tracks, and then strap every heavy weapon to it you could possibly strap on.
Yeah, how many guns do we count, I think? 4, I think?
3 and close combat weapons.
Yeah,
so they're pretty small, they're compact, they zip around, they are demon engines, and they have a lot of firepower. A lot of firepower.
Hellbrutes, they have Hellbrutes too.
They have Hellbrutes too.
Technically a demon engine?
I don't know if Hellbrutes are demon engine. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But they're Hellbrutes. I think Hellbrutes might be their
obviously Mortarion is in here.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Let's show off one of the data sheets real quick.
Well, we need to go over to...
Oh, we gotta go to the
we gotta go to... Right? There is new artwork for Beast of Nurgle, so I think at some point a new Beast of Nurgle is going to be coming. There's no evidence... they're certainly not in this book.
Yeah, but we didn't see any pictures in the modeling section of a new Beast of Nurgle.
But I think it's only...
But it's, I mean, yeah.
Okay, the mini section.
Oh, real quick too. I want to point this out. As far as demons of Nurgle in this book, we know there's Nurglings.
We
know they're plague
bearers.
Bears.
Beasts of Nurgle. And plague drones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Counting, I think they also get Nurgle.
No great unclean one.
No great unclean one though. But they do get their own Nurgle demon prints.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. HQ choice.
Yep.
Okay, so here's some of the new models.
Mortarion in all of his glory. He's beautiful.
Awesome.
Crazy kit. Just giant.
Yeah. It's a fantastic kit.
We'll be showing you off a painted Mortarion very, very soon.
Very soon.
And then new character models. Lots of them. Obviously, Mortarion over here.
Here's your new favorites here: the Plague Surgeon and the Tallyman.
And the Tallyman.
The Tallyman is another one of those new units.
Yep. Definitely now hard confirmation. There is going to be a new unit of Terminators.
Yep.
Of Plague Terminators, and then a different unit of Death Shroud, which are over here. They do appear in this codex. They are separate units. They have different.
2 separate units.
They're totally different.
Yes. All the Terminators.
Also, new Typhus.
New
Fantastic.
Typhus.
New
Confirmed.
Typhus. Amazing model. He's beautiful. He's holding his
scythe
in the weirdest way you would ever hold a scythe, but whatever. He's Typhus.
Hey man, when you have the Destroyer Hive, you do what you want.
Yeah, you do what you want. Totally cool. Moving over here.
I love this.
We have the tanks, the Plague Burst Crawlers. They are in here. We'll talk a little bit about them. And then way down here we have many of the new characters that we were talking about.
The new Plague Marine.
Yeah, so we have the Foul Blight Spawn. This is the guy who's basically the flamethrower carrier.
Yes.
He has a big...
Vile spewer thing.
He has a big spewer thing that's a really nasty, auto-hit weapon with a lot of hits, and it does really bad things.
It's not a flamer, but it's equivalent to a flamer.
And then we have one of my personal new favorite guys in the book. I think he's going to be a really important unit. You're going to see him... if you play Death Guard, you're going to want this guy, and that is... the Biologist Putrefier. This is the guy who is just all dripping with grenades and elixirs and all kinds of stuff, and he makes grenades better.
Which is
only one half of, once again,
we'll get to that.
We'll get back to it.
A theme
and then we have just kind of general stuff, all the normal painted stuff. So it's coming. The fetid bloat drones, more amazing pictures of the Plague Burst Crawlers, and one of the Myphetic Haulers right there.
Yeah, that's one of the things too.
Kind of cute.
We were talking about that too. I don't know if the Myphetic Blight Haulers and the Plague Drums are going to be the same kit or not.
There's parts of them that look kind of similar, and parts of them that don't.
They're going to be different. I don't know. We'll find out though.
We will wait and see.
But there are new models confirmed. So.
Yep, absolutely.
There's an example army, which is pretty sweet.
Okay, now we're into the rules section. So all of the normal Chaos Space Marines, Death of the False
Death of the False Emperor is there. Disgusting Resilient hasn't changed. It's still 5 up.
Demonic Ritual.
The Same thing. Demons. Plague Weapon. I want to mention Plague Weapons because that's a big deal.
That is.
Anything with the Plague keyword in close combat weapons. So there's Plague Knives and Plague Swords.
Okay.
So I want to mention that.
And now we're going to talk about a couple of the new things.
See, Nurgle Demon Prince.
Yep, Nurgle Demon Prince, Typhus, Lord
real quick too, as far as data sheets, you're going to see the same thing. He still has the power level, all the stats. Most of them have pictures to go along with them. Some of them do, some of them don't. You're going to see all the stats, the weapons, warrior options, and then all their special abilities and rules are also included. Just exactly what you would expect with.
We're going to flip over to what you really want to see.
Boom.
So these are the new characters. I'm going to scoot over here a little tiny bit, and we're going to walk you through kind of why these guys are awesome and what they do.
Yes.
The Noxious Blightbringer, we've already seen him before in the box set. He's effectively the same.
Yeah.
But these are the big 3 new guys. We have a Foul Blightspawn, a Biologist Putrefier, and a Plague Surgeon. I'm going to start off with the Plague Surgeon because I can see it the easiest.
Do it.
Okay, so the Plague Surgeon, he is a 4 power level character. He's all by himself. He is effectively a Death Guard Apothecary. He is a 4 wound character. You know, he's one of the cheaper. You know, single. You know, he's the equivalent of like a
lieutenant or something.
Yeah, exactly, a lieutenant or an apothecary actually.
Yeah.
And his big 2 special rules. We're not going to go all over all of his stuff. His big 2 special rules are he has a Tainted Narchethium.
Boom.
Totally awesome.
Yeah.
Totally
what does
awesome.
it do?
And the Tainted Narchethium means that you can re-roll any disgustingly resilient rolls of 1 for friendly Death Guard units that are within 3 inches of him. So it makes their disgustingly resilient a little better.
Yeah, that's mean.
He's totally awesome.
Yeah.
So it's like a meta
I'm gonna
pack.
call it the Taint Touch.
It's like a meta pack, but it's full of grossness.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
They like it.
You don't want to get that Taint Touch.
Yeah, you don't want to get it. And then Gene Seed Thief. This is the other part that we talked about, because one of this guy's main battlefield jobs is getting
those gene seeds.
Gene Seed and Progenoids out of Loyalist Marines, because that's apparently they corrupt them and taint them and use those to make new guys. Gene Seed Thief, add 1 to hit and wound rolls made for this model in the fight phase when targeting Adeptus Astartes infantry or Adeptus Astartes biker units.
Ouch.
He's a jerk.
Still,
I love this guy already.
Yeah.
He's so good.
What about the Biologist Putrefier, the guy that we've been talking about?
Yes, the Biologist Putrefier.
Or do you want me to talk about the Foul Blightspawn?
You talk about this guy.
Foul Blightspawn is pretty cool. First off, he's got the Plague Sprayer, which is the flamer equivalent auto hit weapon.
Yeah, it's like a
2d6 hits.
Yeah, the miniature has a really large tank on his back, and it has a hose and a little
picture like a bug sprayer guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
A lot of different.
He's like a Nurgle bug sprayer guy.
It's strength 2d6. It's assault d6. So random hits, random strength, but it is AP -3, and each hit is 3 damage. So
super. Like he can melt it. Like he can melt a tank if he's lucky.
And it's also a plague weapon, so keep that in mind for plague stuff later.
Nastiness.
Also, he's got a couple of fun things. He's got a blight grenade, which actually a lot of folks have blight grenades, which we'll get back to, and a crack grenade. Disgusting Resilient, Death of False Emperor, all that fun stuff. Unholy Death's Head. This is the once per battle. He can It's another friendly Death Guard character within 3 inches of him can throw an Unholy Death's Head grenade instead of either a blight grenade or a Hyper Blight Grenade, which we'll get to in a second. When they do, change that weapon's type to grenade 2d6.
Right, which is a lot of hits.
A lot of them. He also has Revolting Stench, which I believe this is the one that's in the fight phase. Enemy units that charged within 7 of this model at the start of the fight phase are struck by a stench so foul they falter, losing their impetus. So
they don't go first.
It smells so bad they don't go first, is what I'm getting to.
Yes, you lose the benefit of basically.
Yes.
Yeah, you basically don't count as charging the turn you charge because he smells so bad.
So bad.
And he's not the only unit that has that. That unit, there's a couple.
If we've been playing Rogue Trader or something like 2nd edition, if you had nose filters, you'd be immune to that. But we're not anymore, and that's just funny.
Well, that stuff works on power armor.
Yeah, I know. That's how stinky it is.
It goes right through.
Woo. Hey man, smell this. Nah,
you know how bad it is? It affects Necrons.
That's how bad it is.
The robots.
People that don't have noses, it affects them too.
Pretty awesome.
That's pretty. Maybe it gets in your eyes. It just stings.
And now it's like a super onion.
So it smells so bad it stings your eyeballs. That's how bad.
That's
it smells.
pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Biologist Putrefier. This is the guy I want to talk about. This is the Elixir Grenade guy.
What does he do that's so good? Let's just skip straight to the chase.
Yeah, same thing. He's a minor 4 power level, 4 wounds, elite choice. This is why you're buying this.
Top 5.
You're buying this guy because he has Blight Racks.
What does Blight Racks do?
Increase the strength and damage characteristics of all Blight Grenades carried by friendly Death Guard units while they're within 3 inches of any Biologist Putrefier. In addition, while a unit is within 3 inches of this model, each wound of a 6 made when attacking with a Blight Grenade inflicts a mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage.
That's a 6+.
Yes.
So that's not just a 6.
Right. So we're gonna.
And that's Blight Grenades in the Hyper Blight Grenade too, right?
Hyper Blight Grenades are Blight Grenades.
Yeah, so that affects them too.
Right. So this guy's making all your Blight. Now the normal stat of a Blight Grenade, just so we all know, let's go find one here. A standard Blight Grenade is
6-inch range.
6-inch range. Grenade D6.
Strength 3.
Strength 3. Damage 1.
Yeah.
And it's a plague weapon.
Yeah.
So
there's some plague weapons.
If this guy's close to you, now it's strength 4, and it does 2 damage. And anytime you roll a 6+ on the to wound, it additionally inflicts a mortal wound. We're going to get back to that.
And then on top of that, if you use the Death's Head grenade, that
from
becomes
this other guy.
2d6.
Right.
So starting to see a theme here.
Right.
Yeah.
Really quick, we're just going to quickly go over these. Death Shroud Terminators are in here. Light Lord Terminators are in here. As we said,
two
different units. Completely different concepts. Your Blight Lord Terminators, they have as you can tell here, just off the page, they have a huge different set of equipment and weapon options. So these are your general guys who are going to be walking up and killing people and shooting people, and they're just tough. Death Shroud are different.
Yes, they were the personal bodyguard of Mortarion.
Yeah, these are the guys with scythes. These are the personal bodyguard of Mortarion, and the big thing that these guys do is, guess what? They soak wounds for characters.
Shocked.
So their big special rule, why you're going to want them, Silent Bodyguard, roll a dice each time a friendly Death Guard character is hit by a ranged or melee weapon while within 3 inches of this unit. On a 2-up, one of the Death Shroud intercepts that hit. The character is not hit by this attack, and this unit is instead.
So again, this is not like Bodyguard from a lot of the other books. You don't take the wounds, you don't take mortal wounds, anything like that. They literally take the hit for the character.
Yeah, the actual hit is just diverted onto guys who have 2-up armor, 4-up invulnerable, and disgusting resilient.
So if you fire a las cannon at a character and they're within 3-inch range of these guys, and you hit that character on a 2-up, it's the old lookout, sir.
Yep.
That hit no longer goes on the character, it now goes on these Terminators who have, again, a 2-up save, a 4-up invuln, disgusting resilient, and whatever else you can stack on top of that.
Yeah.
So that's really good. On top of that, real quick too, they're tough 5. They have 2 wounds each.
Yep.
So that's not pushover territory there. That's tough. And then Tallyman is cool. He's kind of like a lieutenant as well.
Yeah.
He has a special thing too. If you roll a 7 every time you spend a command point, if you roll exactly a 7 on 2d6, you don't lose a command point. Yeah,
so it's kind of like a weird version of the Ultramarines power to where they have a real, like on a whatever it is on a 5/6 they get the they don't spend the command points. It's actually pretty good because a 7 is the most commonly rolled. It has the most combinations.
Not a 7+.
A 7. So basically, anytime you use a command point, you say, "Hold on a second, roll 2d6. If you get 7, it's free. You use that. You get all those points."
He also has a Festering Zone, which is reroll all failed hit rolls in the fight phase. So that's cool too. Skip ahead. Let's. I think that's enough.
We're gonna skip to Mortarion because that's what everybody.
I was gonna say let's we've shown off enough of the units.
Here's Mortarion. Okay, Mortarion. Here we go. Games Workshop has already shown his stats, so a lot of this isn't going to be a surprise. You've already seen his stat line. He's pretty scary. 24 power level. This guy's not to be messed with.
He is a Lord of War, by the way. He is a Lord of War.
He is a Lord of War.
As he should be.
7 toughness, 18 wounds, and a 3-up save.
He has a strength of 8 as well.
He's
I thought that the toughness and strength would be flipped.
Yeah.
Because he's Death Guard, but no, he
is a very different Primarch than
Guilliman or Magnus.
Than Guilliman, right? Guilliman's big thing is, he's a killer, but really he makes your army badass. Mortarion doesn't buff his army nearly as well, but he kills way more. He is the Reaper. The big thing that you're going to want to know about is Silence. So his big giant scythe.
Yes.
Silence has 2 different profiles he can use. One is the, if you're a tank, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And then the second one is, if you're not a tank, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much
one's the Reaping Scythe, which is, that's the, let's see, that's the mini attack one.
Right. So we're going to go over both of those briefly. So the Reaping Scythe is
melee range, melee type.
It is strength user, which is 8 because he's incredibly strong. It is minus 2 AP and does 1 point of damage. It is a plague weapon, and its special role is make 3 hit rolls for each attack with this weapon instead of 1. So this is the I'm going to kill all your conscripts.
So just a note here real quick too.
Also note he has by default 6 attacks.
Yeah, that's 18 attacks with that weapon.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So he's going to wade into a group of dudes.
Just,
and 18 and 18 strength 8.
They hit on 2s.
Hitting on 2s, minus 2 saves, 1 damage apiece.
Yeah, if you have a blob squad, or maybe not even a blob squad, but like attack squad, you're dead.
Yeah. And if you even
have like squad, if you have a 20-man squad, probably gonna die.
And if you even have Marines, right? Like 3-up armor guys, now they're rolling on 5/6. Like he's gonna be doing like 15 wounds.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna.
Yeah, because Marines he's hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s. With 18. You do the math.
Yeah.
So what's the next profile?
He should, on average, kill a full 10-man squad of Marines per phase.
What's the next one?
Then there's the, are you a land raider?
Yeah.
Well, you were a land raider.
Oh no, what do you mean?
His other, this is the eviscerating blow. The eviscerating blow is strength times 2, so that's strength 16. Minus 4 save modifier. Ooh. That's gonna hurt. D6 damage plague weapon, and he's going to be getting 6 of those.
Again, still plague weapon.
So
base attacks. He does have a degrading attacks.
Sure,
as he takes, but still. So
like, let's pretend he walks up to something tough, like a predator, like something with like a 7 toughness,
like a chaos predator,
like a chaos predator. He's going to be rolling 6 times. He's going to be hitting 5. He's going to hit 5 of those. He's going to be wounding on 3s. He's going to be wounding 3 to 4 times. And then of those 3 to 4 times, that's D6 damage apiece.
No, he's wounding on 2s, man. Because it's strength 16.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, strength 16. Yes. So he's going to be wounding on average 4 times.
Most vehicles have toughness 8 or less.
So on average, you're going to be getting 4 successful wounds against you that are at minus 4 save, D6 damage apiece.
And they're plague weapons, which we'll see later.
It's bad.
Is bad news.
Yeah, that's his big thing. There is one little cool thing that I did want to point out because it's fluffy and it's incredibly hilarious and funny about Mortarion. So as we all remember, Mortarion is now a demon prince, which means he's psychic.
He is.
He's a demon prince. But
as I recall, he was never a big fan of the psychers.
But if you remember back from the Horus Heresy days, Mortarion hates psychers. He hates librarians, and he was the big guy who basically called out Magnus and was like, Space Marine legions shouldn't use librarians, and magic is bad. So
what happened?
So basically, he hates. So he's bitter. So basically, what that means is Mortarion. He is the psyker, and he can manifest 2 psychic powers a turn.
He is a demon prince.
But he can attempt to deny 3. So he's like, I'm a psyker.
Has to.
Whatever. Nurgle
said
I should be a psyker, so I'm a psyker, but I hate it. And if there's any other psykers on the table, screw you guys. 3 times a turn.
That's great. That is fantastic.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. Pretty cool stuff.
I love, and that's Mortarion. There's more on him.
He's got all the fun stuff.
He's great. We're gonna skip all the way past that, and we're gonna go to the Scions of Mortarion page. This is the big thing that you guys are gonna want to, which is basically what are the Legion rules. Like we already saw Death for the to the False Emperor and the generic Chaos Space Marine thing.
This is basically their Legion trait, if you will.
Exactly.
Which is inexorable advance.
And I'm going to let you read that because I can't see it from this angle.
I'm not going to read it, but the GW's actually showed a preview off. But what it does is, if you move, you can move and fire heavy weapons with no penalty.
Death Guard infantry.
Death Guard infantry, sorry. Death Guard infantry can move and fire heavy weapons.
Without the -1 penalty.
They can advance and fire assault weapons with no penalty.
Yep.
And their rapid fire weapons now have a double tap range of 18 inches.
Right, instead of
12.
So
if you have a bolter, normal range is 24, rapid fire range is 12. They now say they rapid fire at 18.
So in general, the army, it's not fast.
No.
And it doesn't have a lot of maneuver elements. So it's slow. It's going to come at you every turn. But these guys are never going to stop. They have no reason to ever stop and plant. Their infantry are always going to be moving. If they have assault weapons, they're always going to be advancing.
I would like to note that it is all infantry and Hellbrute units in the Death Guard.
Oh, Hellbrutes too.
Yes.
Nice.
And those Poxwalkers, by the way, are infantry. And they have the Death Guard keyword. So even Poxwalkers...
The Poxwalkers have no range weapons.
Oh, well, if they had guns, they could...
Cultists.
That's some... Yes, there are plague cultists.
You want to know what's in this book?
Cultists.
Spoiler, cultists.
Yeah.
And Poxwalkers. Both.
Running and gunning is still a thing.
Right, all the Warlord traits, we'll go over those,
Yeah, 6 Warlord traits.
Okay, strategy.
Real quick, do you have any... I do want to mention Mortarion has the Arch Contaminator, and Typhus has Living Plague.
Cool.
So, if you've seen previews of those,
yeah,
they've got those abilities.
Okay, so the stratagems. This is where there's a bunch of them. There's 3 of them in particular that I'm going to go over because I think
there are 14 total.
There are 3 in particular, exactly 14. Also, just really quick on a design note, kudos to Games Workshop. The number, not only is it in the fluff, but in the rules, the number 7 is all over this book. like all over this book. It's really everything is either in implements of 3s or 7s.
Yeah, which is
really
super
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. They did a good job on that.
So what are these 3 magic stratagems?
So I want to talk about what I think are going to be bread and butter stratagems that the Death Guard are going to be using. So you need to prepare for them. You need to watch out for them. The first thing is I'll let you read Nurgle's Rot. Nurgle's Rot. This is their big expensive one.
Yes.
And it's going to be... It's a giant pain in the ass.
It's 3 command points. Okay. The stratagem can be used once per battle in the shooting phase. Select a friendly Death Guard character and roll a d6 for every unit within 7 inches of them. On a 4-up, the unit being rolled for suffers d3 mortal wounds. Nurgle models cannot suffer wounds from Nurgle's Rot. In fact, they find it rather refreshing.
So think about what that's going to do if you're facing like an MSU army. Your goal is you need to get any one of your characters at some point in the battle right in the middle of a huge, crazy
14-inch bubble
junk. Yeah, exactly, a 7-inch radius. That's a really large area, and as long as one model's in it, so that's like, and on a 4-up, you take D3 mortal wounds, and that's smite basically.
That's smite. It's a big aura smite for one turn, which is super cool.
And it's gonna that's gonna hurt.
And then, if you take the Tallyman, that's 3 rolls to not spend the command. You get the idea.
Yeah, exactly.
What else? What else we got?
Next one, Cloud of Flies. Cloud of Flies, this is going to be one of the bread and butter ones. It's 1 command point. It's incredibly useful.
This stratagem use this stratagem during your movement phase. Select a Death Guard infantry unit. Until the start of your next movement phase, enemy models can only shoot this unit if it is the closest visible target. So, again, during your movement phase, I pick this unit. You can't shoot it
unless it's right on point.
Unless it's the closest one.
So all of a sudden now
they're basically all characters.
Exactly. Well, exactly. You're going to be able to routinely, because it's 1 command point during games. If you're smart, you're going to be able to routinely pick those key units who need to make it. This is the unit that my army's built around this unit being able to get to do the thing it needs to do. I'm going to spend that command point and always make sure that I have some poxwalkers or some other junk around it. People can't even shoot at it. Nothing they can do.
Shoot at.
So it's going to. It's just.
When you get to dictate what your opponent can shoot at in your army,
awesome.
That's always good.
And
Smart generals will take advantage.
And then the one I have been waiting for. So we've been telling you all about blight grenades. We've been telling about the character who makes all the grenades better. Once again, you're all like, wait, grenades suck.
Grenades suck. They do.
Why?
They do.
This is just a giant wasted effort. I would like you all to meet 1 command point, Blight Bombardment.
What is Blight Bombardment?
Blight Bombardment. You can use this stratagem just before a friendly Death Guard unit shoots or fires Overwatch. When resolving that unit's shots, every model in the unit that is equipped with a Blight Grenade can throw one, instead of the only 1 model in the entire unit being able to do so. So let's think about... We, of course, are going to take a crazy case here, but I want you to think about what you can do.
So again, this is during... Just to clarify, this is during when you shoot,
right?
When you're about to get charged in Overwatch.
I need to check one thing really, really quickly. Which is Plague Marines, and I am pretty positive...
They also have them, yes.
No, I'm pretty positive that Plague Marines can go up to 20 mans.
Oh, yeah, they can.
Okay.
But here, I'll flip to the page. Keep talking.
Just going to verify it. So, we're going to assume that you have a 20-man squad of Plague Marines.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so...
Who have Blight Grenades.
Right. So, we're going to take 20 Plague Marines. Those Plague Marines are going to get close to an enemy unit. You're going to spend... And those Plague Marines have... the elite character behind them who makes their Blight Grenades better. So what's going to happen? You're going to spend 1 command point, and you're going to make an attack. They're all going to throw Blight Grenades, so that is going to be 20d6 hits.
Yes.
At strength 4.
Well, 20d6 attacks.
Yes, sorry. 20d6 attacks.
Which hit on 3s.
Which hit on 3s. They will be strength 4. They do... you get your full save against them.
Yeah.
However... They do 2 damage each.
Yes.
And every time you roll a 6 to wound, you get a bonus additional mortal wound inflicted. That unit can take down a knight.
Yeah.
In one...
Can you say that one more time? 20d6 attacks hitting on 3s, rolling to wound with a 4.
Right.
Strength 4.
Right.
Strength 4.
Strength 4.
2 damage.
2 damage apiece.
Apiece.
If they wound, and every time you roll a 6 or higher, you do an additional bonus mortal wound. This is the grenade army.
Yeah.
This army is going to be using grenades a lot. you'll note lots of the models are modeled with those huge, giant, like German World War I potato mashers, and that wasn't a coincidence. This army has rules. This is the army that is gonna be using grenades, and they're gonna be using them. I mean, it is. If you let a Death Guard unit get within 6 inches of you, and you have command points, they're gonna do it because it's gonna be way better. It's gonna be way better than using their bolters.
Yeah, there's one. I want to double check. I've been talking about the plague weapons the entire time. What's the big deal about plague weapons? You can reroll wounds of 1 for a weapon with this ability.
Yep.
That means, caveat to what we just said.
Yes.
20d6, strength 4, hitting on 3s, wounding on whatever, strength 4.
Right.
2 damage each.
Rerolling the 1s.
Now you're rerolling 1s to wound, and every 6+ that you roll is a mortal wound. Is
a bonus mortal wound.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Even if you save the regular
normal
attack,
damage, the mortal wounds will get
the mortal wounds go through anyway.
So these guys with all those attacks doing 2 damage, these guys eat Primaris Marines.
Oh yeah,
just eat them.
And again, that Blight Bombardment is one time, and you can do it when you shoot or when you're about to be charged with Overwatch.
Yeah,
which is just wrong.
Yeah. So. Craziness.
There was one other thing about... I know there was something else about plague weapons, but you know what? We'll save that for later.
We'll get that later.
6 relics we mentioned.
Yep, 6 relics. The relics are
6
solid.
psychers.
They're good. 6 psychic powers. The psychic powers are good. The new... we're not going to read them all to you, but Miasma of Pestilence, Gift of Contagion, Plague Wind, Blades of Putrefaction, Putrescent Vitality, and Curse of the Leper. So they're all... And there are no stinkers.
No.
In this. Well, ha 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 ha.
I see what he did there.
there.
Yeah. All of them are worth casting.
Yeah. These are all solid. This is not like we've seen in some of the other ones where there's like 2 or 3 that are decent. They're actually... These are all solid choices.
Yeah,
and have good
there's usually like
rolls.
2 that are awesome, 2 that are kind of meh,
you get all the
2 that are kind
You get all the points and you get your tactical objectives.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is the Death Guard book.
Yes.
Overall thoughts on this book. I think it has the potential to be a real power army.
Yes.
The Death Guard are expensive, so the Death Guard in points, all of the I think it could be difficult to run an army that's exclusively the really elite, like when you get into the really expensive things like Death Shroud or the Terminators, it's very expensive. But you do have the ability to take
cheap
Poxwalkers and Cultists
who are
Death Guard infantry.
You can really make a super elite contingent of your army.
Right.
I think you're right. I think that if you try to go too elite, your numbers are going to shrink.
Yeah, I think the army will be brittle.
Yeah, but if you back that up by having in a couple of
20-man units of Poxwalkers out there just to walk in front and soak wounds,
because they're troops. And by the way, they have the troop ability as well. So the corrupting thing.
Yeah, they all score just like we've seen on all the previous codexes. Yep. So they have that
That's
too.
Still a thing.
So what I think is the hallmark of this army. There are other armies in the game that are tough.
Yes.
Necrons, right? Things like that. But what this army has is this army. This army is not fast.
No.
It does have some elements in it, like the bloat drones can move 10. You know, there are some things.
Yeah, it's not a mobile army, but the way it moves is actually straight towards you.
Yeah, they're not going to be doing Eldar trickery.
They also have some stuff that, in general, when they move, they only get half the distance for their advances and things like that.
But this army, through a combination of relics, certain units, especially stratagems, and warlord traits, this army can inflict a horrific number of mortal wounds on you. Oh, yeah. This army has lots of ways of doing mortal wounds when they shoot you, doing mortal wounds in the psychic phase, doing mortal wounds just if they're close to you.
In the morale checks?
Yeah. So this army I think is going to be incredibly lethal if it's fighting anyone who has a low model count, because the mortal wounds will just drop your numbers, and there's nothing you can do about it. They have the ability. They have lots of tools to take out high wound vehicles, to take out knights, to take out vehicles. It's not going to be a problem for them.
Yeah.
We'll see whether or not they could deal with a giant horde army of like 400 boys, but
I mean that's tough for anybody to deal with.
Exactly.
That's even tough for the player playing the horde army to deal with, because they got to move all those dudes.
But I think they've captured kind of what the Death Guard are supposed to be.
Creeping death.
I'm really, really impressed by not just it's not just it's a powerful army. It's an army that feels like what the Death Guard should be.
Thematically, it fits.
Yeah, it's slow, and once it gets near you, your guys just start dying, and there's not much you can do about it.
We haven't even really touched on the auras in the book either.
There's
a lot of auras that are overlapping that do stuff like, again, free mortal wound attacks or buffs to your units,
or lower your leadership,
lower your toughness,
right? Lower your toughness.
So we haven't even gotten into that.
Yeah, that entire thing that we just talked about the corner case insane 20 plague marines did all that crap to you with grenades. Now imagine it if whatever they're throwing those grenades at is at -1 toughness. They can do that to you too.
Yeah. So have fun with that.
So
so we just went over that. What, as a Death Guard player, you play Death Guard. What's like the #1 thing you're most excited about for this book?
I think that the combination of the stratagems and the new elite characters make the army do things that no other army in the game can do.
So you like the uniqueness.
I like that it's not just. I like that this book isn't just Chaos Space Marines and your toughness is 1 higher.
I like that they're not Chaos Space Marines in green.
Like they're like this army is different.
It plays differently. As a non-Death Guard player, one of the things that I most love about this book, and it's also the thing I'm probably also terrified to see on the tabletop, is Mortarion.
Mortarion is going to be a beast.
That model is gorgeous looking. Like, the detailing is awesome. I can't wait to show it off. But I am totally terrified to see that guy on the tabletop.
Also, there is so obviously there's going to be talk, right? Because of course, what people are going to do immediately is they're going to take this book and they're going to be like, oh well, I'm going to combine it with other Chaos things and I'm going to make an allied army that's like part Death Guard and part Chaos Space Marine, so I can
warp time,
right? So I can use all these cool powers. You actually have to be a little cautious because a lot of the really nasty things that this army does will kill allied parts of your army. There's a lot of stuff in here that is just like.
It says Nurgle units.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, if you have not Nurgle Chaos Space Marine allies, they could just die if they're too close to some of your units.
Just right off the bat.
So,
those mortal wounds go both ways. So
be careful about that.
That's one thing about the Plague Father. He gives his gifts to everyone. Friendly fire is a thing. So
all are welcome.
Equal opportunity
in the gardens of Nurgle.
Well, guys, wash your hands.
That is it. We are super excited about this book. We're going to be covering a lot. We're going to be covering. This is going to be a giant release. It's going to go over probably several weeks. Everything that we get, we will be.
We're super stoked about it.
Yep.
This book is super awesome. Yeah, that's all we got though.
All right. Thanks for watching. So much for watching.
I'm Adam here.
And I'm Larry.
Thanks for watching.